Hey guys, I'm Jessie, and today we are going to be talking about all of the super exciting August 2023 sci-fi and fantasy book releases. I have a list of 20 exciting books, so we're going to try to move through these really fast. I am probably not going to do these in chronological order, so that would just take too much time. We're just going to go down my Goodreads list because there's 20 of them. Really short synopsises. I am going to link all of them below, and I have all of them kind of broken out in a little bit more detail in my blog post that will also be linked below for you guys. So this is not a 200-year-long video. Let's jump into it. The first one that I am super excited for is Labyrinth Heart by M.A. Carrick, and it's coming out on the 15th of August, and this is the third book in the Mask of Mirrors series. I still need to read Liar's Knot, but y'all, I loved the first book, so I'm really excited for the series to be completed. The next one on my list is Inanna, and it is by Emily H. Wilson, and this comes out on the 1st. This one says, the fates of a young goddess, a warrior, and a mortal soldier collide in this enthralling and lyrical fantasy retelling of the Epic of Gilgamesh that will captivate readers of Madeline Miller and Jennifer Saint. A retelling, I'm here for it. The next one is Where Peace is Lost by Valerie Valdez, and this is supposed to come out on the 29th of August. This one is a space fantasy, and it says a refugee with a secret, a dangerous foe, and a road trip that could either save a planet or start a war. That sounds like my kind of sci-fi right there, just in general, that like space opera-esque, rogue, like kind of fantasy sci-fi mix. Here for it. Next, we have Zara by S.J. Jones, and this is coming out on the 1st of August. Again, I think we're getting this in a book box. And this one says it is Sailor Moon meets Cinder in Guardians of Dawn, Zara, the start of a new richly imagined fantasy series. I mean, Cinder meets Sailor Moon. What else do I need? The next one is Forged by Blood, and this is by Igbor Okoshun, and it comes out on the 8th of August. And this is the first book in the Tainted Blood duology. A brilliant new voice brings a brilliant new novel. In an action-packed, poignant duology inspired by Nigerian mythology, full of magic and emotion, and set in a highly atmospheric, complex world in which a young woman fights to survive a tyrannical society, having everything stripped away from her, and seeks vengeance for her mother's murder and the spilled blood of her people. Next, also coming out on the 1st of August, we have Bring Me Your Midnight, and this is by Rachel Griffin. Rachel Griffin is the author of Wild is the Witch and The Nature of Witches. I love The Nature of Witches. Haven't read Wild is the Witch yet. I'm sure it's fantastic as well, though. So I'm really excited. And I'm hoping that this book in hardcover has the same, like, really pretty, like, hardcover as her other two books do, because, oh, they're so pretty. This is a lush romantic fantasy about forbidden love, the choices we make, and the pull between duty and desire. Next, we have Foxglove by Adeline Grace. This is the sequel to Belladonna, and it comes out on the 22nd of August. Don't really need to give too much synopsis because this is a sequel, but I know Belladonna was like a huge success. Everybody loved it, so I'm really excited. I know this is going to be, you know, a pretty hyped book. I didn't love Belladonna. I actually didn't finish it. I kept it because I think the reason I DNF'd it was because I was just in a headspace. So I do plan to go back to it and try it again and then pick up maybe the sequel. The next one is The Crimson Fortress, and this is by Akshaya Raman, and it'll be coming out on August 1st. This is the sequel to The Ivory Key, which is a book that I ended up reading last year, and I really enjoyed. It was a good time. It was a little bit young on the YA spectrum, but still a very fun, like, sibling dynamic fantasy, so I'm excited to see the sequel. Then on the 29th, we have House of Marion by J.L. This is a modern day YA romantic fantasy series opener about a glamorous, magical world of social elites, forbidden love, and the dark magic that can destroy it all. On the 30th of August, we have Hellfinder by Paula Stokes. This says, Winter break turns deadly when Rory and her treasure hunter grandmother travel to Iceland in search of an enchanted artifact. Their mission is to recover a blood-smeared stone that legend says will lead whoever possesses it to the nearest doorway to hell. There's a lot more, but again, that right there kind of sells it. For one, her and her grandma. We have grandma in the story, and for some reason, that is super appealing to me. Then on the 15th of August, we have The Invisible Hour by Alice Hoffman. This is the same author who wrote Practical Magic. It says this is an enchanting novel about love, heartbreak, self-discovery, and the enduring magic of books. Look, I'm a sucker for like a story within a story, fantasy books about books. I'm just always here for it, so I'm excited. On the 22nd of August, we have He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan. This is the sequel to She Who Became the Sun, and this is another book that I read last year, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot different than I expected. I have a full review of that book. If you want to check it out, I can link, but it wasn't as like high magic fantasy as I guess I was expecting based on kind of how it was pitched, but I think that was like a marketing thing, not an actual writing thing. If you go into the series expecting it to be historical fiction with like just the lightest amount of magical realism, then you're good. But this was a really cool story, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Next up, on the 29th of August, we have Her Radiant Curse by Elizabeth Lem. This says that it is a tale of two sisters, one as beautiful as the other is monstrous, who must fight to save each other when a betrothal contest gone wrong unleashes an evil that could sever their bond forever. I love Elizabeth Lem's Six Crimson Cranes, so I'm excited to read more from her. Then we have The Water Outlaws by S.L. Huang, and this comes out on the 22nd of August. It says that this is inspired by classic martial arts literature. The Water Outlaws are bandits of devastating ruthlessness, unseeming femininity, and dangerous philosophies, and ungovernable gender who are ready to make history or tear it down. Next up, we have The Phoenix King by Aparna Verna, and this comes out on the 29th of August. And it says this is from a stunning new voice in fantasy, an Indian-inspired, action-packed debut of fire, magic, and ancient prophecy, where the fate of a kingdom rests in the hands of a princess desperate for power and an assassin with a dark secret. Okay, so I didn't have quite 20. I thought I did, but for some reason when I was organizing them, I guess because, August A, some of the April books got on here, and I was like, this book already came out, so sorry about that. Not quite 20, but there's still a lot. But the final book on this list is The Midnight Kingdom by Tara Sim, and this is the sequel to City of Dusk. I have it. I haven't read it yet. I think it got mixed reviews, but again, I'm still pretty excited to read it and see what it's all about because I like to judge for myself. It says that it's the second book in Tara Sim's sweeping dark fantasy series, where 4 heirs in 4 noble houses, each gifted with a divine power, must defy their gods in a fight for the fate of the world. I mean, it does sound cool, right? And that is everything that I have that comes out in the month of August. Let me know what you're most excited for. If there's any that are not on this list that I missed that I need to check out as well. So let me know. Thanks for hanging out with me. My name's Jessie, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.